Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vaishnavi Vaiti from Kirin Advisors. Welcome to the virtual roadshow of Cedaar Textile Limited. Today, we will provide a brief overview of the company and its innovative business model. Cedaar Textile Limited manufactures and markets a diverse range of yarns and textile products, including melange yarns, solid top dyed yarns, raw white yarns, and grey fancy yarns in blends of cotton, polyester, viscose, acrylic, tencel, modal, and other fibers. With a strong focus on sustainability, it offers products made from 100% organic and recycled fibers, as well as fabric and technical textiles. From management team, we have Mr. Rajesh Mittal, Managing Director. Welcome, Rajesh sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon and good afternoon to all the viewers.
Yes. We also have CA Isha Verma, Finance Head. Good afternoon, Isha ma'am. Welcome. From NNM Next Gen Advisory, we have Mr. Jignesh Zaveri.
Hi, good
Welcome,
afternoon to
Jignesh.
all of you viewers.
Good afternoon. So now I hand over to Rajesh sir to tell us the short journey of the company. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Uh, uh, so good afternoon again, everyone. Let me just give you a briefing about the company. The Cedaar journey has started in 2020, and this is our taken over of asset from the Kothari Group, who are actually one of our vendor in the past 10 years. Okay, I just give you another briefing before that. I started my career in 95, where I started with the Vardhaman Textile as a start my career with them, and in the domestic international marketing for the 9 years, and further move overseas for 12 years. We are in Hong Kong and Bangladesh, from where we started the trading of yarn and fabrics, and we supply to our customer base across Bangladesh and to the other countries. And from there we have learned a lot of things up to the full supply chain into the up to the garment. And we moved back in India in 2018, and 2020 we started the journey of Cedaar by taking over one asset which is near Ludhiana, 30 kilometer outside Ludhiana. And this is the textile running company from the Kothari Group, and their next generation was not willing to further move into the textile, and they want to just consider on pharma and other business. So accordingly, we taken this asset where we have like 48 acre of land, 800,000 square feet of building from manufacturing facility, warehousing, and residential complex for our workers and the staff. And we have 45,000 spindle and 6 metric ton of yarn dyeing at this moment, which is producing 11,000 metric ton of the yarns, which are focusing on the specialized. We are in the basically on the higher segment or the value segment of this category in the yarn, where we might produce melange, fancy yarn, and technical textile, and some part of the fabrics accordingly. And we are just moving further for expansion into the yarn dyeing and the fabric dyeing after this IPO. And that is our main object, to augment our capacities and move ahead into the value added product of the textiles. So that's our main focus. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Rajesh sir. Now we will start with the company presentation.
I need to review with the presentation, or shall I have to speak with the during the presentation?
Yes, sir. You can just explain in short.
Okay. So as I mentioned, we are into the diverse range of yarns, which are fancy yarn, top dyed yarns, some blended fancy yarns, and the gray raw white blends yarn, which is made of cotton, polyester, acrylic, viscose, tencel, modal, and other fibers as per the customized requirement of our customers. And we are using a lot of sustainable fiber like organic, recycled polyester, during our different blends of fiber, where our focus is on that particular category, and our customers also having the good chunk in that category. So we are also concentrating on that. Next slide, please. We have As mentioned, we have we have ventured into the technical textile in the last 2 years, and we are working, we are doing in the inherent flame retardant fibers, which itself is further, as per the international norms. Now it has to be inherent fiber required in the protective wear, like which are we are focusing on a segment which is working more on the this the workfare for the aeronautical and oil companies staff and employees, and that particular segment we are doing spinning and the dyeing, and we supply them to a customer who are making the garment for that. So that segment we have started last 2 years, and that for is our new product range in our basket. And further, we also in the fabric, which we are making the the knitted fabric mostly, and I also have a plan to go into the garment. So this is a glance of what we are doing in the yarn, and also we have put the 2 megawatt of solar plant last year, which is approximately saving 13 to 14% of our the captive consumption is to be made through the solar energy. And we have the God certificate for the organic. We have GRS certificate. We have recycle certificate, and the revenue what we achieved in the last financial is 189 cr, with the beta of 28 cr and the PAT of 11 cr, and which is mentioned, the ROE and ROC is like ROC is coming around 26.9%. Next slide, please. Can you put on the next slide? So we are in a situation where to move forward, we have a vision to move into the forward integration, where our concentration is more onto the the fabric and the garment, and that the expansion what we are doing now is for the value added, which is for the fast fashion in the yarn dyeing category and the fabric category. And that way we are now focusing on the forward integration. And we also have the launch one our athleisure wear brand, which is just a soft launch few months before, which is concentrating on the women category of the and the new generation, the segment where they are looking for the gym, yoga, and high end the spandex fabrics for their day to day applications, and the for the the performance fabric, and which also we are focusing in the future on that. So we are continuously working. Our main focus and our own concentration is the new product development and moving into the high segment of our yarn category, and also forward into the fabric and garment foray into the coming days. Next slide, please. So this is a journey started from 2020, and today we are into the working into the IPO. So that way is showing our journey of till now. Next slide, please. This is the our main the promoter director. I have 28 years of experience specializing in the marketing and also the product development, and the the great and versatile knowledge on the full supply chain and the forward integration up to the garment and the brand. Mr. Goel is having also the 35 year of experience, and he is also started as in the operation management in the textile, and he also work with the top-notch companies like Maral, Arvind, and also internationally. And also he has a great experience into the garment industry, and also the automation in the industry, and it is helping to our company to further move into the automation and reducing cost and optimization of resources. Mr. Munappa is a known executive promoter, but he also in the garment for last 35 years, and their company, there's another company is working in the the garment segment and supplying to the top B2B brand like Mark and Spencer, Mother Care, Decathlon, and H&M. And Mrs. Monappa is also the non-executive, and she is involved in the company HR and the the personal fields. Next slide, please. These are the list of the independent director who are from the different fields, and having 35 to 40 years of experience in different the big organizations, and also some are already doing their independent work and the business, and they are on our board. Next slide, please. So as mentioned, what this is the product mix of our company. We are making sustainable product, melange and dyed specialty. Our yarn is 80% going for the knitting segment, and also we supply a lot of yarn for the sweater segment. And further, we are going into the fast fashion by putting the yarn dyeing, further expansion, where we are getting a lot of demand from our domestic and export customers, and we have a good scope seeing in the future. That is our focus to move into the high margin product. Next slide, please. So the here it is given the just a briefing about the fabric. Like we are making the fabrics into the different category of single jersey, interlock, rib, which is basically based on the different the structure of the fabric required for the garment, and we are making as per the market requirement. The technical, textile, and the industrial uses, as mentioned, we are in the IFR, and further, we are planning in future to have some collaboration with the international, some of the company who are having further, the deep, the deep R&D and the, the innovation on this particular segment, which is a growing segment. India is actually at this moment having like $1 billion of this industry, but there's the international the market of this particular segment is more than 50 billion, which is basically more catering at this moment by China, Taiwan, Korea, Germany, Italy. They are mainly having this chunk of the business, and as per our focus and also the initiative from the government to work on these particular segment to increase our share. So it is helping, and we are also focusing that this is a great opportunity for Indian companies to focus on this type of product, which is still India is way behind, and there is a good scope. Next slide, please. So this is like installed capacity given for our both spinning and dyeing. We are utilizing 90% in the dyeing and the 70% in the spinning. Spinning is basically we are on the higher segment fancy yarn, so there the utilization is little lower than the other companies. So still we have a scope to increase another 10% in the coming year, which we are focusing. Next slide, please. So as you can see from 22 to 24, we are changing our the product mix, and our product mix is changing into the high value added the products in the form of technical, textile, fabrics, dyed yarn, and some other products which we mix different type of fibers, and make a different combination, and which is giving some as per our customized buyer requirement. So our focus is shifting to the value-added product, where we are now in the 75 to 25 category. We are 25% we already moved, and whatever the way we are doing the expansion, it will further increase our share into the value-added products to another 25% more. Like it will be like 50-50 by 26-27. Next slide, please. Our current the customer base is like 35% for the export market and 65% into the domestic market. In the domestic market, we have two segments. One is the corporate customer, which cater to the 15% of our share, and having and the balance 50% going through our dealer and distribution network. In the export customer, we have like supplying the basically at this moment the yarns category, where we are supplying to the countries who are having these making the garment, like the Bangladesh, Egypt, Turkey, Morocco, Portugal, Sri Lanka, South Africa, and some part of the Latin America. Next slide, please. So this is the bifurcation of our different state-wise sales and the trend for our sale. Next slide, please. Here, the sustainability, what we have a focus like solar energy, which is basically now at this moment giving 13 to 40% for our captive consumption and reducing our cost. And further, we have a plan after the IPO to increase another 2 megawatt, which will further will be used for our internal consumption, and it will save us approximately 28% of our power cost, which will be converted into the solar. Sorry. So we have like 5 megawatt of sanctioned power, and we are currently using 2 megawatt from the solar, and further we have a plan. So we are moving to the green energy, and it will further give the better, the better margins and the optimum utilization of resources for the company. Sorry. So we have the effluent treatment plant. The capacity of that plant is 4 lakh liter, and we are currently utilizing 50% from that. So all the company who are into the dyeing business, they have to follow the norms as per the government. And our factory is basically 30 kilometers outside, which is outside the premises of the city. And as per our norms, we have to do the plantation. So we have around 20 acre of land which is under plantation to whatever the water treatment we are doing, so we clean the water as per the norms, and we release into the our own plantation, and we're not even discharging even a single drop outside the premises. So that way we are following the the norms of the pollution, and also taking care of the green environment. Next slide, please. The industry in the textile currently stand between in India around 180 billion, and which is growing or expected to be reached 250 billion. The Indian industry, which is the textile is one of the main industry, which is having the day-to-day requirement. The overall, the I just give you the overview of the world industry, which is approximately 800 billion, and the major chunk of this share is by the China. China still exporting 180 billion dollar of exports in the textile, and at India we are between 35 to 40 billion. So whatever the way the markets are opening, like by the FTA of the UK, been done, and further European Union some FTA is under discussion, and the also the with the America some tariff negotiation going. So if all these things favor to India, and also the disturbance in our neighborhood in the Bangladesh, so all this giving some opportunity to the textile industry, that there is scope to increase and having a growth in this segment by in a big way, if the industry and the further the government support is there, that I think this next decade could be a good turning point for this textile industry. Next slide, please. So technical textile I mentioned earlier. So the industry is like a 40 billion dollar plus, and we are still having a big difference, and the big gap is there, and which we are also focusing, and also the government is also doing a lot of the assistant to the companies too, and also some innovations and R&D for that. So this is a focus trust area for future. Next slide, please. So our company is having a different products, which is still some of the companies are making and some of the companies are not making. But as a peer comparison, it has been done with the most suited company based on our product. So we are on the right track, and we expect we will able to do much better performance with our focus on the and the strategy on the products. Next, please. So this is giving a the financial highlights in respect of our income, EBITDA and the PAT. Uh, we have given the in the our RSP up to the 9 months results, and the further the full financial year results will be declared by, I think, by next week, next month. So these are the debt and equity ratio and the ROE, ROC, the debt coverage. We are expecting our debt to equity will reduce below one after the IPO and whenever we close for this financial year. Our current EPS up to December is 8.63, and these are showing the current ratio, receivable turnover ratio, and net asset value per share. These are the the total income, profit, PL and account statement. Next slide, please. This is the up to the December we have total net worth of 60 CR, and the long term borrowing is also reducing. It's around 36 CR, and total short term borrowings are a little higher because whatever the long term borrowing for the 1 year is adjusted into the short term borrowing. Next slide, please. So this is all that the asset, current asset, and the fixed asset data, and our cash flow is getting improved with the time, and we are further focusing on that, how to improve the cash flow. So as mentioned, our strength is on the focusing on sustainabilities and quality innovation, and our expertise on the the marketing strength, and moving forward into forward integration. That is our strength, and we are focusing on that. Opportunities we are getting in the form of technical textile, and moving into the better technology, which is also when we go for the expansion where we have we are taking the new machine where we have less water consumption, and also our direct cost will be much less than the current situation, so which will also increase our EBITDA. The weakness is basically it is mentioned on the cotton high dependence, but still we have in India a huge cotton production, and sometime whenever there is some particular bad news of low production or some bacteria to the cotton and some cotton damage, that type of some volatility is there, but it is sometime happen. But we always have that always analysis in the mind, and we always take all these things in our calculation and do on that. Next slide, please. The business strategies, as I mentioned in last my 20-minute discussion, it is more on the the utilization of the production capacity, expansion in the value added product, and foray into the the in the value chain to the garment, and also some B2C in coming days. And we have to reduce our costs by by the solar, and also further optimization of our internal the resources, how to reduce the cost and economics of scale, and further automation wherever we can do, so that we can increase our EBITDA margin in the PAT. So I think whatever he mentioned is also what we are already already discussed. One another thing, we are active in the CSR activity. We have internal 600 workers living inside the company. We have the the common mess for them. We have the medical facility and some other the CSR activity for their children and their families. So we also keeping that responsibility of company towards the the social the social requirement, and also we are always focused that whatever the team we have in the farm of our employees and the worker, we should do always better for them. Next slide, please. So this is the issue I highlight. I think Mr. Jignesh can give more detail on that. So yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, for the wonderful presentation. I thank Ms. Vaishnavi also, who's representing Kiran Advisors. The IPO is being managed by Skyline, which is the RTA. We are NNM, who are underwriting the issue, and Fast Track FinSec. So the details are that the face value is 10 rupees. The price band will be 130 to 140. The lot size is 1,000 per share. The issue size is 60.90 crore. We have the anchor issue open today on 27th. The IPO will open for the normal public and retail at 30th June to 2nd of July. And some of the key metrics I would just brief up, that the debt to equity ratio post the IPO will be under 1, right? We have the we have the uh, issue size, which is, as I said, 60 crore. So the purpose of funds is 24 crore is going to go towards the working capital. 17 crore will be going for the yarn forwarding and integration. 8 crore will be used for the 2 megawatt added solar capacity, and the remaining is for the general corporate purposes. So this is it from our side.
Thank you. Thank you, Jignesh sir. We'll start with the Q&A session now. I request all the participants to post their questions and comments. Thank you. So first question is from Mr. Ganesh. Our EBITDA turnover, which covered around 22 to 23K spike in financial year 24, 35K. What was the reason for this long term? How should we think about margins?
Okay, the 23. Okay, the our EBITDA is increasing because of the two reasons, that our focus on the value added and high EBITDA margin product. Like I mentioned, we have ventured into the technical textile. We are where I can just give you our margins are like 25 to 30% in the EBITDA. And like our yarn dyeing, which is also a very fashion oriented product, where we do the various different type of yarns by yarn dyeing, and it is used for the different products made in the form of like t-shirt, for your winter garments, for for the both like the jackets, and also general uses in the in form of sweaters and others. So this particular segment is increasing, and also we are focusing. We already have 90% utilization on that capacity, and that is our focus, to increase the capacity by another 2.5 times. So if you see in last 2 years, we are moving towards the more value-added products, where we are getting a beta margin more. That's why the overall impact of the margin is coming better based on the share of that product, which will further increase by shifting of that ratio. So that is the way we are thinking our margins will further increase because of the addition of the only value-added product into our category. I think our beta will another increase by what I roughly can say 3 to 4% by 25-26, and another by 26-27 will further increase by 3 to 4%. So that way it will be continue. We are focusing on the better products and the valuable products, so it will be constantly will be moving up.
Okay. Next question. Could you give the realization turnover or EBITDA turnover of our dyed yarns versus the regular yarn? Do we see an increase in dyed yarn in the coming years?
Yeah, the regular yarn what we make, like melange and fancy and some different novelty yarn, there the EBITDA margins is approximately 9 to 11% on average basis. When we do the dyed yarn, our EBITDA is around 18 to 20%. And the increase in dyed yarn is coming here. There are two reasons. One is the reason is that within the Ludhiana sector, Ludhiana market, whatever the industries there, they are facing a big issue with the government pollution norm, because they are discharging the water outside their company, and also draining into the the public utilities, which is not possible in the future. And they are getting a lot of challenges because they have to invest heavily into the capex by putting the zero liquid discharge, and also the running cost of zero liquid discharge is approximately 7 to 8 rupees. And one is the challenge is that. Second is that as our company is outside the Ludhiana and we have in-house, the plantation and green environment norms as per the government. So we have that, opportunity that lot of new demands and a lot of fashion demands are shifting, and that is creating a big, the big demand for in that segment, and our customers are pushing hard us, to increase our capacity by 2 and 3 times, so that whatever the challenge they are facing at this moment, so we can cater to them. So we have the long term commitment from our some of the customer who want us to increase our capacity and give them that service which they are getting the gap.
Okay. Next question is from Yash Mistry. What's the current scale of your technical textile segment and what are the plans for expansion?
So our technical textile segment at this moment is 3% of our total share of our total company revenue. But our target by 26-27 to increase it to 8 to 9%, because we have taken some first in 23-24 we have taken the time for the establishing the quality and technical know-how and also R&D work, and now we already everything on the board and everything is going fine. And I can also inform you one thing that our company is one of the company except Arvind who are doing the dyeing of these inland fibers. So there is a there are very few players in the market who are doing this product, and we have a plan to collaborate with some international company who have a good expertise on this product in this field, and we want to increase our base with the joint collaboration and increase our revenue and the sales. So we have a plan on that.
Okay. Next question. तनिष शिंदे, डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में आपके लिए क्या अपॉर्चुनिटी है?
डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में जैसे मैंने मेंशन किया है कि हम वैल्यू चेन में ऊपर जा रहे हैं, जैसे हम फैब्रिक बना रहे हैं और आगे गारमेंट बनाएंगे। हम कोई गारमेंट का ऑलरेडी हमारा एक्विजिशन का भी फ्यूचर में प्लान है, और उसके बेस पे वी आर एंटरिंग इनटू द B2B। उसमें B2B में जो भी अच्छी ब्रांड्स हैं जो गारमेंट्स बनाती हैं, जैसे it can be Jockey, it can be Mark and Spencer, it can be Uniqlo, it can be Decathlon. We have that the linkages and networking and with them, and also some discussion going with them. And as I mentioned in my discussion, our promoter, another partners, they are already in this field, they are already working for these brands. So we have that plan that in future we will be focusing more on the fabric and the garment, and we will able to increase our the top line and the bottom line by focusing in the the forward integration segment, which is a growing and which is having a big the gap at this moment in the industry. So we will focus on that.
Okay. Next question, please. Vasudha Shenoy, how will you grow your new women's wear brand UNI? Will you sell it online in stores or through distributors?
So the UNI already started offline into the NCR National Capital Region. We also started on our website on the B2C, and we're going to the marketplace like Myntra, Izio in the coming few days. And we also focusing to supply our quality product to the B2B. Like we have in discussion with some yoga studios which are very prominent in India, who has a good the customer base and who want us to supply as a white label to them with our quality and our the designs and work jointly. So we will focus more immediately with the B2B in that segment, and B2C will also be slowly will be move up, because that the B2C need a lot of funds and a lot of marketing. So we just have to make a further plan on that in the coming few months, that how we can make the UNI brand in a big way with some more funding raise, or we convert this into the subsidiary of Cedaar and take that funding and then grow in a the big way in coming days. But this is a soft way going, and we are just focusing that we have to build up slowly in next 2 years.
Okay, next question. श्रुति तावड़े, आज की डेट में आपका टोटल कस्टमर बेस कितना है?
So our, in our industry of textile, like we are supplying mostly to the customer who are making garments. So our customer base, I can say that, like in domestic, we have a four or five big corporate who are continuously, give their requirement, their customized products, and we are making. And rest we have the product selling through our distribution and the dealer network, which are basically supplying to the end customer and giving some credit to them also. So that way, customer base is like our dealer network is like we have like 20 to 25 the dealers in different markets, and in our export customer we have like 20 to 25 customers space is there.
Okay, next question. Sai Arora, can you share the value of company's order book at present?
In our industry, we don't work very long orders. Our orders are like rotation based. Like always, we have 2 to 3 months of order. I think currently we have the order book between 55 to 60 CR.
Next question. Rajesh Bhatia, what are your company's future expansion plans for growth?
So our future expansion plan is after this IPO, we are expanding into the fabric and further focusing, as I mentioned, into the garment. So we have a plan within 25-26 to go for some garment company acquisition and go for this B2B to supply to the brand, and then further we have a plan for further growth into the garment industry, garment production, where we are already, as I mentioned, we are as a country we are getting some new opportunity with the UK FTA and some European free trade expected, and the US side, which is US is, I can tell you, the US market is like a $120 billion the import into US in a year, and still India is only doing 10 billion. So you can see, as a garment country producing, which are only few big players like China, Bangladesh, Vietnam, some part in Sri Lanka and Pakistan and Turkey, Egypt. So from the India point of view, India can increase as a country a big share in all these markets by some of the shifting of the production from China, from Bangladesh to India. And if India can make even 10 billion more, so it will be like 100% growth for the industry. So it's a big opportunity there, and we also focusing on that way in the company.
Okay, next question. Nisha Garud, how does your business model work across different yarn types like raw white, melange, top dyed, and fancy yarns in various fiber blends?
So, we as a company doing 80% customized order. We are not making anything like stock and sale. As somebody who's doing the raw white, they must be doing the stock and sale, and the markets also sometimes fluctuate. So maybe that way, sometimes they give the consistent revenue, sometimes less revenue. But our focus is more on the customized and melange, top dyed, and fancy yarn. I can tell you, it's only few companies in the India who are making these. I can count on the numbers. One is the Vardhaman Textile, one is Satluj Group, RSWM, Winsome, Sulochana, and we are the next one. Although our size is very small, but we are making very flexible and very versatile products, where even some of the companies are doing what we are doing, but some of the product what we are doing they are not doing. So our base is small, but we are focusing more on the boutique and customized product, which differ us from the other. And we are always having 8 to 10 lines we have in our factory, where we can make 8 to 10 products at one time together, so which is not available with all the companies.
Next question. Mahesh Khatri, What is your pricing strategy across different product lines? Are your products positioned as premium, value, or mass market?
As far as our yarn category, our products are positioned in the premium category because we are supplying for the very fancy stuff which is used for the further garments like for the brand like Tommy, bestseller, Jack and Jones, Gap, uh, H&M. So still we are into the premium category. We are not into the mass market. And further, when we go into the fabric and the garment, where the value addition coming more. So also it will be based on the different brands, order base only. So we are in the little on the premium segment only.
Great. Next question. Neeraj, how much of your revenue is from repeat customer versus new clients?
Pardon. Our repeat
How much
clients
of
are approximately 60 to 70%.
okay. Next question. Deepak Kulkarni, how does the contribution of dyed yarns and IFR yarns impact margins compared to traditional raw white yarns?
The dyed yarn margins, as I mentioned, is 18 to 20% EBITDA. IFR is 25 to 30%, and the traditional raw white yarn vary between 5 to 9% based on the different raw white the companies are making.
Okay. Next question. Harsha Joshi, what role does the dye house expansion play in boosting production efficiency?
The die house expansion, like the die house is always a batch size. Like we have the machine which is always produce the batch size, like the batch size like 1000 kg, 400 kg, 600 kg. So the production efficiency there is always a the dying time based on the product. So as we are currently doing 90% this the utilization, the production efficiency is based on how we always carry the raw white yarn. We always carry the two carrier while our production, that one carrier is always ready with the raw yarn, and as soon as the production complete for the previous batch, the new batch immediately we put. So our the turnaround time is hardly 30 minutes in between for that. So that way we are managing the better production efficiencies.
Okay. Next question. Shubham More, with 64% spinning and 91% dyeing utilization, what is your capacity expansion roadmap over the next 2 years?
The further capacity expansion we are doing in the dyeing side only, on the yarn and the fabric dyeing. The spinning side, our focus is more on the automation side, and also for better utilization within the spinning division. But the major expansion will come only on the yarn dyeing and the fabric dyeing.
Next, Chirag Panchal, what are the key benefits of having a fully functional ETP at manufacturing unit?
The ETP in the dyeing factory is a statutory requirement. Nobody can avoid this thing. The ETP, there are two type of things. One is that you have cleaning and the following the norms, and then you have to discharge either within your premises if you have that ample land available, and you can discharge into the plantation. And second thing, if you don't have that thing, then you have to now do as per the latest norm, the zero liquid discharge, means you have to reuse the water by doing this total the chemical and toxic free water, and reuse it, and you cannot release in the public utility. So without this, no factory can have any dyeing production, and it is very stringent norm. If any new factory has to come, there are the tough challenge to follow this norm before going for any new commercial production.
Okay. Next, Sahil Gupta, how does your effluent treatment plant contribute to water reuse and pollution control?
The currently we are not reusing the water. We are basically following the norms of the water like COD and the TDS as per the government norm, which is required, which is and the cleaning of the water, which is safe for the plantation. So we are doing that thing. In future, we have a plan to reuse the water also by 25%, for which we have to the increase some of our the some of the modification into the ETP plant, which we are planning in next 6 month time. And everything is also the under the pollution control, means we have the plantation which is basically the the following the green and the environmental norms. And whatever the plantation we have done is basically to have that basically to take care of the social responsibility.
Next question, please. Suraj Joshi. What percentage of your products currently use organic and recycled fibers?
Like the organic is having approximately 20 to 25%, and the recycled polyester like PET bottle fibers approximately 80%.
Okay. Next question. Shubham More. Which are your top three export markets and how are you expanding in those regions?
So our top three market at this moment is Bangladesh, Egypt, and Latin America like Peru. But we are because Bangladesh is getting some challenges on the payments and on the banking side, so we are strategically reducing some share into the Bangladesh and just focusing on increasing into the other new markets like Morocco, Poland, Turkey. Like we are just trying to migrate to some other the new markets, and that way our shifting is going on.
Okay. Next question. Payal Nure. Exports dropped between FY22 and FY24. Is this due to falling global demand focusing on the domestic market?
FY22 was like a very the uncommon year because after the corona the huge demand has come across domestic and export market. That's why it is like a the out of the box year where the our also export was 60%. After that, there was a drop in the market, in 22 23 in the export market also. And because the cotton price also moved very sharply and 65 to 70% during that year, and the export customers and the domestic customer both side there was a challenge on the pricing and the margins. So we also strategically reduce our cotton, the cotton consumption that time, and we have also increased because of the flexibility in our plant. We have increased our polyester rich, the production in that time, and to just to have our intact margin. But the global demand is not falling that much, but the global demand, the pricing is a big factor. That whatever we are doing basically with the comparison of our margins. So if we're getting better margins in the domestic, so we focus on more domestic. So presently we are getting better margin in domestic market, so that's why our focus is more on that. And the export market is wherever we are giving us the reasonable margin as compared to our domestic market, so we are focusing that way.
Next. Ishan Desai. What business growth outlook you would like to give us for next 3 to 5 years perspective?
Like we are moving into the top line of the this forward integration. So the views are good, our the prospects are good and for the growth, because when we go into the garment, this is a like turnover ratio of 1 to 9. If I invest one like 10 cr in garment in the production, it will give me a top line of 100 cr. So I feel we are expecting like 25 to 30% of growth per annum in next 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Next question. Prem Singhania. How much cost saving is expected annually from the second solar plant and what percent of power will it replace?
2 megawatt of solar plant give us 1.75 CR of saving per annum for the on the cost part, and it will be approximately 14% of our captive consumption will be shift to solar.
Okay. Next question. Raj Gandhi. Punjab consistently shows high domestic revenue. What's driving such strong demand in region?
Ludhiana is, the Ludhiana and Tirupur are the two major, the textile zone, which is working on the garment side, and the local production. More is in the like synthetic blended. More is into the, into the Ludhiana side, Punjab, which is in Punjab, and 100% cotton is more on the south side. So always we are near to that market, and our, the transportation cost and other things are like very less. So our focus is more in the that market where we are getting the, the better margins, and also better our working capital cycle movement. So, and which is also a growing market, looking into the India 140 crore population, and the, the change of the buyer behavior. You know that the now in the Indian focus, if you consider next 20 year, the the young generation percentage of population will be higher than the, the higher is population. So where the shift of demand and fashion and the expectation of the consumer is, changing. So which is basically driving the overall domestic growth. So we are also focusing that way.
Okay. Next question. Mithilesh Yadav. Dye Neon contributed 1 lakh, 56.8 lakh. And in December 24 alone, why was there no presence of this product in earlier years?
So in 2020, when we started our dyeing yarn production was only, 30 ton per month. So we have increased this capacity to 6 ton in last, 24 25. Before that 23 24 also 2.5 to 3 tons. So our product shift has been in last 2 years, because we have expanding our yarn dyeing, and accordingly we are focusing on better margin, and that way it is showing that much way.
Okay. Next question. Sahil Gupta. PAT nearly doubled from financial year 23 to 24. So any reason?
Yeah, the as the product mix has been shift, that is the only main reason for getting better pet.
Okay. Next question. Mahira, thank you for answering and all the best for life. All the
Thank you.
best to the Cedaar. Sir, I think we have covered majority of questions. Thank you, Rajesh sir. Thank you, Isha ma'am. Thank you, Jignesh sir, and all the best for the IPO. Thank
Thank
you
you
All the
very
everyone
best
much
to
for
all
for
of
joining
you.
the
Thank
live.
you.
all the people who have joined. Thank you.